Hey guys, Cody Webster, or as known as Webster Productions. Alright, so today on Four Tires and Fuel, I will be talking to you guys about the Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano feud. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so before we do that, I'm going to have my Martinsville picks, and this week I'm going to have to go with Mark Martin. In the 11 FedEx Toyota. I'll go over everything and why he's in that car. And then, who else do I pick for the race? I want to say like Casey Kane will be a good pick. So we'll get my Martinsville picks out of the way. Now let's get into the feud. Now I think this feud is pretty retarded, to be honest. I know retarded is not a nice word, but I really don't care at this point. So they supposedly had an argument over Twitter, which, okay, whatever, but then they bring it to the track, which is a different story. The feud really got brought to the table at Bristol when Denny Hamlin got into Joey Logano, and of course, Joey Logano spun around. Not Denny Hamlin's fault that Joey Logano can't save a car. He got into his rear corner panel, and to be honest, it was like a bump and run. You're running the high line, so that's like the main line of the track now. So you got to figure they're gonna bump and run up there. So he did that, and not only that, Joey Logano did put a little block on him, and Denny probably wasn't happy with that. So I wouldn't blame him. Joey Logano lost control, and whatever he did, he spun into the wall and destroyed the back end of his car. Kept on going, but whatever. So later on in the race, well, actually, right after that, he said he was going to go after him. Whatever, going to go after him, my ass. He got as far up to right behind him, and then supposedly someone else got into him, and he got into the wall again, and then he finished 17th, and Denny Hamlin went on and finished higher up in the race. I'm not sure. Whatever. That race was over. Then they had like a freaking feud over Twitter again. Oh, I'm coming to my house, whatever, blah, bullshit that really no one really needs to deal with. But at the same time, it's probably good for NASCAR. So, whatever. They go to Auto Club, and apparently Denny Hamlin apologized to Joey Logano, but Joey Logano didn't want anything to deal with it. Okay, nice being the bigger man, Denny, but Joey was just being a little bitch. So, whatever. So we went to the race, and right off the bat, it seems like they're racing each other hard. Well, at least Joey was racing Denny hard. Denny was just running his own race. Joey had a fast car. I'm not going to take anything away from him. And Denny did have a decent car, too. I'm not going to take anything away from him either. Who I think had a better car? Obviously, Joey. Now, it came down to the end of the race where Joey pulled a stupid block on Tony Stewart, which, at the same time, I do think it was right because Tony always blocks people, so, I mean, I feel like, and plus it was the right time to do that block anyway. Tony overreacted, whatever, so he pulled the block, and then he got out front, got behind, who was it, Kyle Busch, and they were having overheating issues, so he eventually got past Kyle Busch, and then you just saw water spewing out of his car. So I was thinking in my head, what was it, 9 laps to go? I was like, the car will last, but they're definitely going to lose some horsepower towards the end of running the laps because it's overheating, and it was overheating pretty bad. So Denny Hamlin got into second, and I was like, alright, this is going to be a fun race. I mean, it was already a fun last, 20 laps? I mean, it was getting pretty wild out there, and I was actually enjoying the race. So Denny Hamlin finally caught up to him, and they were racing hard. I mean, what was it? The last 3 laps, they were racing each other hard. And finally, Denny Hamlin got position on him on the last lap, and Joey held his own going into 1 and 2, and Denny Hamlin had the preferred line, which was the outside. At least from my standpoint, that would be the preferred line, because you get the better run off the corner. So, they go into turn 3 and 4, and, well, they touch. Well, it was more the fact Joey was like, alright, I see your car there, I'm just going to use you as a wall, and continue using you as a wall all the way through the corner. Joey's an ass, to be honest. You want to have a fair race, that could have been a fair race if you didn't hit him. If you you have a car and the motor to outperform him, then show it. Don't ruin another car and potentially hurt someone. So they get into each other. Of course, Kyle Busch is looking all nice and pretty on the outside and just flies right by. It looked like one of the passes. I think it was that. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Auto Club or Michigan when Brian Vickers and Kyle Busch were racing, and Brad Keselowski in the Nationwide Series went around the outside and won. It was kind of the same deal, and Kyle Busch went on, but that's not really what I'm talking about. That's not really what I'm worried about. Kyle Busch winning, he won. Congratulations to him. But them two got together and went all the way up to the wall. Joey did. Denny Hamlin got on the wall too. And Denny Hamlin spun off the wall, and it almost looked like he just held it in the throttle until like the last second he saw the wall and he was like, oh shit, I'm going to hit this wall. Well, no kidding. Whatever. That was a bonehead move on his part, if he did keep his foot in the throttle. I don't know what the case was there. Joey, on the other hand, smacked the wall, spun sideways or whatever the hell, and still got third place out of it. Meanwhile, Denny got 25th. So that happened, and then once after the wreck, the big cloud of smoke by Denny's car, and then there was people that were, NASCAR officials were assisting him on the ground, totally like he was in pain and everything. Well, it turns out that he has L1 back fracture, whatever, he'll be out for, 6 weeks? Well, a minimum of 6 weeks actually, put it that way. Supposedly those have been as long as like 3 months to even longer than that, so it all depends how he heals. So that happened, and Joey's post-race comments are really like BS. And I mean I hate him I hate him and Roger Penske because Joey said he deserved it. Well, Denny is now out for 6 weeks or more. Okay. And now you got Roger who's backing Joey. Okay. People are like, oh yeah, Joey should stick up for himself. Well, okay, to a point. But then when you potentially injure another driver, that's a problem. This feud was kind of BS. Started over Twitter, and it leads to this. What's gonna happen? Who knows? I don't know what Joey's standpoint is after all this. He probably doesn't even feel bad at all. He probably thinking he still deserves it. I don't know. I'm on Denny's side. I'm not on Joey's side at all. I don't like him. He's really like, he shouldn't even be in the Cup Series, to be honest. He sucks. Okay, sorry. I keep on listening to these two songs. Anyway. So now what we have is Mark Martin driving the 11 car this weekend at Martinsville. That's why I picked him, because I feel like he'll have a better shot in that car. And then we got Brian Vickers driving the 55. Now it's going to swap in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be Brian Vickers going to the 11, and then Mark Martin being in the 55 on those races. And then I think at Talladega it'll be Michael Waltrip. So whatever. So Brian Vickers is going to get some seat time in the new cars. I'm just preparing him for. Well, Michael Waltrip wants to prepare him for next year because he's going to probably be going full time in the 55 car, which is good for him, and I'm glad that he's getting seat time. Just hopefully he'll have better luck than what he has had in the 20 car in the Nationwide Series. It seems like back and forth between the 20 car in the Cup Series and the 20 car in the Nationwide Series, they're both having like trouble. So hopefully everything goes well with Brian and then Mark Martin. Hopefully they get good finishes, and hopefully they keep the 11 car in the top 12 in owners points if they can. Now they're also talking about how Denny Hamlin can possibly still make the chase if he comes back in 6 weeks. I count him out. He would need to go on a tear. He would need, let's say, what is it? It's been the 6th race already, and then 6 more races. There'll be 12 races, so then 12 races in, you only get 14 races left. He would need to win half of those. And really, hopefully, people have trouble. He would need to win at least 7, I'd say, to get himself back in it. And I really don't see that happening because I don't think he's going to be 100% when he gets back in the car. So we'll see what happens. But that is my take on the Denny Joe Logano feud. I didn't really mention Tony Stewart in it much because Tony Stewart was irrelevant to basically everything. He just wanted to make a name for himself by going after Joe Logano. But I do agree with him. I would totally want to hit Joe Logano. But hey, he had Danica's crew. Not really going to do much. Well, this has been Cody Webster on Four Tires and Fuel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you guys do like it. What is it? Like it or subscribe. I don't know what else there is. Well, you can like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitter. And that's basically about it. Just leave some of your comments, and hopefully next week I will step up and make another great video. Alright? See you guys after Martinsville.